What's going on, guys? It's GBP baby. Welcome back to another video. I hope everybody's doing well, and let's get straight into things. So this week has been full of consolidation as we're edging towards non-farm payroll, and obviously as we start December now, seeing all this consolidation and very fickle price action isn't too confusing. But nonetheless, let's take a look at the past 2 days since I didn't manage to upload yesterday. So here you can see we've had 2 down close days, gapping as we entered Wednesday, and we've ran out both sides. No, we've only ran out buy side off Tuesday, with that Monday high being left intact. One thing I do want to draw attention to is the fact that we have this fair value gap on the daily that's remained traded in. So although we wicked above it, you can see how volume is remaining within inside of it, and it looks like we're closing outside of it as well, which is saying to me that this is going to remain as a bearish PD array. That means that moving into Thursday, we can look at this fair value gap and expect that price will use it as resistance. So I will be paying close attention to this. But first, let's drop down to the 4 hour and take a closer look. And you can see how we've just been in and out of it. And again, lots of gapping going on. This is not very ideal for trading conditions. So if you've been trading this week, God bless you. But nonetheless, we have some beautiful relative equal lows below here where we have sell side liquidity as well. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to move this sell side liquidity that I originally marked out from Monday's low down to here, just because we have 2 new relative equal lows, and then we have this original sell side liquidity which I was talking about. Another thing I want to take note of is the fact that this is Sunday's opening price, and you can see how far above we are. The fact that we haven't traded through Sunday's opening price yet says to me that we're likely going to run to it. When it gets to a Wednesday and we still haven't touched Sunday opening, it usually can be used as a target for price. Now, there are some occasions where that is not the case. For example, last week, I'm pretty sure we touched it like at the very beginning of Monday and then just traded and ran lower for the rest of the week. So times like that, obviously, it will work against your favor. But in this case, we should assume that it should get traded to, considering we still haven't touched it, considering our bias is wanting to see lower dollar, and just looking at how we're treating that daily fair value gap. I do like the fact that we've run out this buy side liquidity. You can see how we've tapped into it a couple of times here, and then we ran it through it again here. And what's even better is the fact that we failed to take out that Monday high. So seeing failure swings like that is generally indicative of lower price action, because it's failing to take out any highs. It's refusing to go up there. And look at this kind of displacement we got away from there. So this was a rejection block level. We came, stabbed into that, and you can see the displacement we've got away from it. And again, creating those relative equal lows below Tuesday and Wednesday. Another thing we can take note of is this grey level. If you have watched last video, if you go and watch the previous video, you'll remember me talking about this weekly bearish order block. So I'll just show you that now. So this is the weekly bearish order block open. We traded up into that on Monday, and I was talking about how we traded into that premium PD array. So technically we should now be looking for discount PD arrays. So again, if we drop back down to the 1 hour, you can see how we tapped into that and we're still getting rejection away from it. So we're seeing support of our expected PD arrays, which is all great. I'm going to get rid of a few things just to clean up the charts a bit. I'm going to keep the Sunday opening. I'm going to keep our attention on these relative equal lows below here. And then ideally we can start targeting here. And again, if you've watched my Sunday review and Monday's video, you'll know I'm looking for us to eventually trade down into here on dollar. So overall I'm bearish, but again, with non-farm payroll and whatnot, obviously anything can happen, but I'd like to think that Thursday we can start to see some movement. ICT does suggest that on non-farm payroll weeks, all trading is done by Wednesday afternoon, and you can see it's now Wednesday afternoon, so now would probably be the time to stop trading if you are, but generally speaking, I'll be paying very close attention to this fair value gap, and as far as I'm concerned, price shouldn't need to get back above it again. But yeah, price shouldn't need to get back above that again. So that's everything on dollar. Do note though, if we do get above it, and we trade through it, then we're likely going to be running up into these highs. It's just that seeing the way we were gapping last week, these disgusting gaps, and how, bearish price action has been in general, I do want to see price continue to push on lower, and especially considering the displacement we're seeing and the failure swings here and here. And what I will do is we'll look at this displacement, and I do believe whilst the dollars failed to take out Monday's high, I do believe euro took out Monday's low and pound took out Monday's low again, which is hinting towards something. But we'll look at that at the end. Let's head on to GBP USD. We'll start here on the daily as well. And obviously, if we're expecting dollars trade lower, we want to see pound continue to expand higher, and that's what we've been getting. So this is the fair value gap I drew our attention to at the beginning of the week. Yes, we wicked down into it on Monday. Tuesday tapped into it, and then you can see how Wednesday we took out both Tuesday's lows and Tuesday's highs, closing above a Tuesday high. So the fact that we're closing above highs like this, again, indicative of high price action. And again, look at how we wick down to the midpoint. This is consequent encroachment, classic price action. So it'd be nice to see if we can see that a continuation of this kind of price action and start running into the buy side liquidity. Let's go down to the 4 hour, and you can see how prices just stacking on each other. Again, a lot of consolidation. I do like the fact that this wick ran out these stops and then we had expansion higher. So I am paying close attention to this as a bullish order block. So these two down close candles, let's look at the volume of them, drag them right through. And as far as I'm concerned, price shouldn't need to get below that 50% level. Any lower than that, I'll be suspicious. But generally speaking, I want to see it be respected for me to remain happily bullish and expect price to run into the buy side. Let's go to the 1 hour, and you'll see again the Sunday opening price. And I'm going to say the same thing I just said on dollar. The fact that we haven't traded to it yet and we're going into Thursday is saying to me that price is likely going to run to it, because why haven't we? It should have touched it by now, or it should have ran one side, and the fact it hasn't, it means it's obviously waiting for sentiment or something to drive price into it. You can see how this bullish order block has been holding price. This level right here, this black line, I did talk about it. I think it was the last video. But I think it's a rejection block level. Stabbed into it here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 times we've come down here. And look at volume. Respect, 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 respect. And you can see how volume's continuing to stay above it. So what's that telling us? It's saying that price, although we're wicking down there and accumulating suggestively, volume is still remaining bullish in terms of in the premiums. So we want to take that into consideration. Let's go to the 15 minute, and you can see how we wick down there during London 4 a.m. and you can see consolidated a bit and we've just been moving higher. So in terms of looking for setups and things, I'm happy for price to drop into this range again tomorrow. But again, any lower than that 50% level, which happens to be lined up with this 15-minute bullish order block, any lower than that and I wouldn't be involved. But I'd like to think that we can find support, and then I want to see expansion. I need to start seeing more movement now, especially the way we've just been zigzagging our way up. Another thing I like, you see this swing right here? If we look at this and drag that right through, it looks to be like this is where a significant change is happening in terms of the state of delivery. I will talk more on this tomorrow just because I want to see how it plays out. So we'll take note of that and I'll make it dashed. But generally speaking, the fact that we traded through it and look at how price is treating it, I want to see price continue to stay above that, and I want to see us push where through that Sunday high and into our original buy side liquidity targets and start trading up to our original target that I spoke about on Sunday. Now, don't get me wrong, if price breaks this whole 4 hour bullish order block, if price breaks that will tell us straight away that we're likely going to be running into these lows and these lows down here. It'll tell us straight away, and we'll know, and if we really want to get involved, we can. But my general bias is that I do want to see price hold it. So I'll be paying very close attention, moving into the London session especially, to make sure that bias is being supported and we're seeing a continued upwards price action. I do believe as well, once we get above this buy side liquidity, we will see it run. So again, I want to see it run to the Sunday open because one, we haven't traded above it yet, but also because once it goes through that, I believe it's going to like trigger a macro almost, and I want to see it spool. I want to see price spooling, running fast, where to here and up towards our target. And then non-farm payrolls are a whole other story, but that's on Friday. So let's see where we're at the end of Thursday. So that's everything on GBP. Yeah, that's everything on GBP. Let's take one look at Euro USD. We'll go to the daily here as well. Excuse me. And same thing. So Euro struggling a little bit more in terms of, bullishness compared to pound. But similarly, you can see we've had two up-close days moving on Tuesday and Wednesday. Wednesday again taking out both sides of Tuesday, buy side and sell side. So now I'm looking at this long wick that's been left behind on Wednesday. So I'm going to get rid of a few things just to clean it up a bit. We have our buy side target from our original buy side target up here, and I'm looking at this long wick right here. As far as I'm concerned, if we are to remain bullish, and I've said this, I use this concept all the time, like you must be tired of hearing me say this, but as far as I'm concerned, price shouldn't need to drop any lower than that if we're going to remain bullish, and then we can start looking at these daily highs and such. Another thing that would be nice to see as well, we have a fair value gap here, and once price gets above there, that'll put us in a comfortable position, assuming we're expanding and we're moving fast. If price gets above here, I'll be more comfortable going long and probably enter more positions, allowing us to run into our rejection block level first, then our buy side here, and eventually up to here. But let's go to the 4 hour, take a close look. And you can see very heavily consolidated, guys. Not the best. It is just a matter of how we treat and act around this order block right here, really. Let's go to the 1 hour, see if it helps us anymore. I am going to quickly just get my daily dividers, and we're going to, again, we want to look at that Sunday opening price. Why haven't we touched it yet? Why are we all the way in Wednesday and we still haven't traded into Sunday's opening price? There's a reason for it. And let's say tomorrow we don't trade into it, then that's usually a setup for non-farm payroll. But we'll talk more on that tomorrow. So let's get this delineated. And don't get me wrong, again, you can have weeks when we only trade away from Sunday, but it's so rare that, you know, it makes it, with how rare it is, it makes it high probability that we can use it as a potential target. But nonetheless, here's our daily dividers now. Again, heavy consolidation, not the cleanest of price action. I'm looking for us to get above this fair value gap, and then I'm looking for us to run to Sunday's opening price. And then once we're above there, I'm happy and expecting a lot of expansion to continue to the upside. So that's going to be everything, guys. In terms of the lowest I want to see price trade on euro, definitely this bullish order block, similar to what I was talking about on pound, but this is on the hourly. I'll make this red and I'll make it dashed, and the same thing, any lower than the mean threshold of that, and I'll be suspicious. Ideally, this holds price and can set us up for some potential longs to go for that Sunday open and then that buy side. So that's going to be everything, guys. Thank you so much for watching. Don't forget to drop a like, drop a comment, smash subscribe, join the mailing list, and join the Discord too. I am active in there, and this is something I'll talk about tomorrow as well. Oh yeah, let me just quickly look at divergence. Let's add dollar and pound real quick and see how we're looking. So you'll see dollar fails to take out that high just about. Let's make it a different color. And obviously there and here. Now this isn't really the best example because there's not literal divergence in that we have one of the pairs taking out a high or low. But we're seeing strength on pound here, and we're seeing strength on euro here, as in refusing to take out that Monday low, whereas dollar came really close to it but just failed it as well. So this is interesting, and obviously this is something we can study again moving into Thursday, assuming we do get the movement we want to see. Let me just double check what kind of high impact news we have tomorrow. Bear with me. So tomorrow we have jobless claims are classic. Yeah. So again, 8:30. I'll be looking to see where price is at. Again, if all our PGRAs are still being respected at that point, then there'll more than likely be a setup. So yeah, thanks so much for watching. Don't forget to drop a like, drop a comment, smash subscribe, join the mailing list, blah blah blah, and I'll catch you tomorrow. Peace.